The arena floor was stained with the blood of 100 species. Crimson mixed with azure, gold with green, a grotesque palette of conquest painted across the sand. Above, in the observation deck carved from obsidian stone, Warlord Karek stood with his forearms crossed, his mandibles clicking in satisfaction. "Bring forth the humans," he roared, his voice amplified across the stadium where thousands of alien spectators had gathered. "Let them learn what all weak species learn in my arena." Anna stepped through the gate first, squinting against the harsh violet sun of this forsaken world. Her combat boots crunched on bone fragments as she surveyed the killing field. Behind her, Jack emerged, rolling his shoulders to loosen the tension that 3 weeks in a detention cell had created. "Well," Jack muttered, scanning the arena's high walls, "this is properly fucked." Anna's lips curved into something that wasn't quite a smile. "You wanted to see the galaxy. Here we are." They had been xenoarchaeologists, plucked from a dig site on Kepler 442b by Karex's raiders. The Warlord collected fighters from across the quadrant, the strong to battle, the weak to die. Humans, he had declared, were the weakest prey he'd ever encountered. "No human survives my arena," Karex bellowed, and the crowd erupted in chittering, howling approval. Anna reached down and picked up a corroded blade half buried in the sand. She weighed it in her hand, testing its balance. Then she looked up at the Warlord's platform and raised the sword high. "Define survive," she called back. The arena fell silent. Karex leaned forward, his compound eyes glittering with something between amusement and curiosity. "What did the creature say?" Anna planted the sword point down in the sand and rested both hands on the pommel. "I asked you to define survive. See, Warlord, you've made a fundamental error in your assessment of humanity." "The human speaks." Karex laughed, a sound like rocks grinding together. "Entertain me before you die, soft flesh. What error could I possibly have made?" Jack stepped up beside Anna, picking up a length of chain. He began wrapping it around his knuckles with practiced efficiency. "You think survive means not dying," he said. "That's your first mistake." Anna nodded. "Humans don't survive by being the strongest. We survive by being the most stubborn sons of bitches the universe ever spat out. We survive by refusing to accept that we're beaten." "Pretty words," Karex growled. "My champion will turn them to screams." He gestured with one of his forearms, and a gate on the opposite side of the arena began to rise. What emerged was a nightmare-given flesh, a Krothak battle beast, 12 feet of scaled muscle and razored claws. Its roar shook the stadium. The creature had killed 47 opponents in a row. It was Karex's prized possession. "Oh, that's just fantastic," Jack said, but he didn't step back. Neither did Anna. The Krothak charged, its claws tearing furrows in the sand. Anna moved first, not away but lateral, forcing the beast to adjust its trajectory. Jack went the opposite direction, already swinging the chain in a wide arc. The creature's attention split between them, its first mistake. Anna had studied predators all her life. The dig on Kepler 442b had been focused on the remains of a species that hunted in packs. She understood pack tactics better than most. "High-low," she shouted. Jack didn't question. He dropped and swept the chain at the creature's legs while Anna lunged forward, driving the ancient blade toward the beast's throat. The Krothak was fast, faster than anything that large had a right to be, but it couldn't defend both angles simultaneously. The chain wrapped around its ankle as Anna's blade scored a deep cut across its shoulder. First blood to the humans. The crowd's roar changed pitch, surprise mixing with the bloodlust. "You see, Warlord," Anna called out, dancing back as the creature swiped at her with claws that could disembowel a rhinoceros. "Humans learned to survive on a death world. Gravity that would crush most species. Predators in every shadow. Diseases that could wipe out entire populations. We didn't just survive, we conquered our entire planet." Jack yanked the chain, throwing the beast off balance for just a second. "And then we looked at the stars and said, not enough. We want more." The battle raged for what felt like hours but was probably only 15 minutes. The Krothak was stronger, faster, better armed by nature than either human could hope to be. But Anna and Jack had something it didn't. The accumulated experience of 10,000 generations of humans who refused to lie down and die. They used the environment, kicking sand into the creature's eyes. They used misdirection, making it commit to attacks that left it vulnerable. They used endurance, letting it exhaust itself with powerful strikes while they conserved energy with precision movements. When the Krothek finally fell, it was to a blade through the eye socket driven home by Anna while Jack held its attention with the chain wrapped around its neck. The arena was silent again. Anna turned to face Karex covered in blood, most of it not hers. She raised the sword again, this time pointing it at the Warlord. "You said no human survives your arena," she called out, her voice carrying across the stunned crowd. "You were right. We don't survive, we win. There's a difference." Karex stood slowly, all four hands gripping the railing of his platform. For the first time in 3 decades of running his arena, he felt something he'd forgotten. Uncertainty. "Humans," Jack added, wiping blood from his face, "don't know how to just survive. It's not in our DNA. We're built to push forward, to adapt, to overcome. You throw us in an arena, we'll turn it into our arena." The Warlord's mandibles clicked rapidly, a sign of agitation among his species. Around the stadium, the spectators had begun to murmur, a sound like a rising storm. "Open the gates," Anna said, her voice hard as steel. "Or send down another monster. Either way, we're walking out of here. That's what humans do. We survive by refusing to accept any other option." Karex stared down at the 2 bloodied, defiant humans, standing over the corpse of his champion. In that moment, he understood why no empire in the galaxy had ever successfully conquered Earth. It wasn't that humans were the strongest or the fastest or the smartest. It was that they were absolutely, undeniably, insanely unwilling to quit. He raised one hand. The gates began to open. Anna and Jack walked out side by side, leaving behind an arena that would never be the same. Behind them, the Warlord sat back down slowly, a new respect and perhaps a new fear kindling in his ancient eyes. The humans had survived. Or rather, they had done something far more dangerous. They had won.